The position of a point in space can be determined by means of three axes, that is, by three-dimensional geometry. There are several methods for determining the coordinates of a point P in space. The first method is to draw perpendicular lines to the coordinate planes and axes. From point P, draw a line perpendicular to the xy plane. It intersects the plane at point A. From point A, draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis. The line intersects the x-axis at point B. The line segment OB is the x-coordinate of point P. To determine the y-coordinate of point P, draw a line from A perpendicular to the y-axis. It meets the y-axis at point C. The length of OC is the y-coordinate of point P. To determine the z-coordinate of point P, draw a line perpendicular to the yz plane. It meets the yz plane in point D. From point D, draw a line perpendicular to the z-axis. It meets the z-axis at point E. The length of OE is the z-coordinate of point P. To help you see this better, you can join the points D and C. Because all the lines are perpendicular to each other, OEDC and APDC are rectangles with equal opposite sides. Another method of determining the coordinates of point P is by drawing lines from point P directly perpendicular to the axes. From P, draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis. It intersects the x-axis at point A. Line segment OA is the x-coordinate of point P. Now, draw lines from point P perpendicular to the y and z axes. They intersect the axes in points B and C respectively. Line segment OB is the y-coordinate of point P, and line segment OC is the z-coordinate of point P. Planes can also be used to determine the coordinates of a point. To determine the x-coordinate of point P, draw a plane through P perpendicular to the x-axis. It intersects the x-axis at point A. Line segment OA is the x-coordinate of point P. The y-coordinate can be determined by drawing a plane through point P perpendicular to the y-axis. The plane intersects the y-axis in point B. Line segment OB is equal to the y-coordinate of point P, and the z-coordinate can be determined by drawing a plane through point P perpendicular to the z-axis. The plane intersects the z-axis at point C. The line segment OC is equal to the z-coordinate of point P.